He'll run the baseline. Sexton gets it. 3 seconds. 2. Sexton.
To be a sportscaster is a dream come true. To be a sportscaster for Alabama, it's beyond what I even remember dreaming as a kid. So it's very, very special.
Save the season for the Tide.
My name's Chris Stewart. I'm a sportscaster for the Crimson Tide Sports Network, covering the Alabama Crimson Tide. To be a sportscaster for the Crimson Tide, it is definitely the fulfillment of a dream. I grew up wanting to be a sportscaster, and people that have known me my whole life say, well, you're doing what you always said you were going to do. I said for the longest time that I was going to be covering Alabama. I said I was going to be the voice of the Crimson Tide when I was little. I don't even remember that. My schedule is built around the game schedule and the TV production schedule if I'm doing a specific show. Monday, I knew I was coming down from Birmingham to do Hey Coach, our radio show at Baumhauer's Victory Grill, so I don't have to get into town until late afternoon, do the show, go back home. But basketball's a little different when I'm doing the play-by-play for it, and there's a connection you build with your listeners, and it was a rough year, but I really did feel led to thank them and to let them know that even though the result of the season was not what we wanted from a basketball standpoint, that for me this is one that I'll never forget. I did have a stroke just over 11 months ago. I went to bed. 14 hours later I woke up. The clot had been cleared. 4 days later, I was home. I take zero credit for it. I was incredibly blessed that God granted me, for whatever reason, the favor of allowing me to be back in my health, to be almost at 100%. I wasn't what they termed in bad shape. In fact, the doctor said it was an absolute fluke that I had the stroke. I didn't fit the profile. In trying to draw that balance of not overdoing it for myself, but also being home as much as I can, because the schedule requires me to be out of town far beyond Tuscaloosa so much of the year. When I woke up and after we'd sorted out some things, my wife said, oh, by the way, I've been on the phone all morning with my new best friend, Terry Sabin, because Miss Terry had somehow found out, was somehow gotten my wife's number, was texting her back and forth, checking on my condition, and the next day had a message from Coach. When the TV show ended, the taping there on the field at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, shook his hand, and I held on to it just a second longer, and I said, Coach, I want to thank you. This year was a challenge for me, and you were really patient, and I want you to know how much I appreciate it. He was really gracious, patted me on the arm, and he said, hey man, I didn't notice any difference. What I'm so fortunate with is that unlike some people, and there are a lot of people that have to do jobs where they're away from home, they miss time at home, and when they get to their job, frankly, they really don't like it. When I am gone, I hate being away, but I love the job. The job is fun. So while I'm working, I'm having a ball. I wish I could be two places at once, but I've got to be there at the job. And when I'm in the office, it's a really fun place to be. As my dad says, it beats having a real job. It's not a matter of wanting to be a sportscaster. It's going, man, I just can't do anything else. Because it's in your blood. And either it's in your blood or it's not. But you got to be yourself, and you got to prep. And you cannot do enough prep, and you cannot get enough practice.